Hello everyone, it's Digitrax Dad back and just doing an update on signal construction. So let's get into it. Okay, in the last video I did on the signals, we got to the point where we built 6 of these Eckon brand coloured light signals, and they needed to go off for paint. So what I've done is I've given these a spray undercoat with just some white enamel spray paint. And once that's dried off, I then basically used a brush and some flat black to paint in all the details that were black. And I had some aluminium looking paint that I've just done a few details. I'm not copying anything specific here. Anyway, they are ready now to take the back shrouds off and install the LEDs that basically into the back and thread the wires down through the tube in the bottom. What I discovered though, when I went and put it on the layout just to test fit, the clearance between the two tracks and rolling stock moving backwards and forwards was so tight with such a small clearance that I decided I won't use them as single standing signals, and then I need to come up with a way to turn it into a gantry signal. So I can still use these. What I did was I picked up the Pratt Truss Gantry Kit 478, which is a ratio kit. Picked this up from Hatton's out of the UK for £3 each, which is a bargain. Had those sent out to Australia, so it cost me £9, which is roughly $15. Much cheaper than I could buy them here. So 3 of these kits sent out. What these kits do is make a freestanding over 2 tracks gantry, like the diagram shows. This is the instructions. I won't go through how to make them, but basically inside the pack there's 2 sprues of parts that you use. Now what I wanted to do was not make a full over the track model, but make a cantilever, so basically a column and half of the signals. So to do that, what I've done, using the existing Eckon signals, I basically disconnected from the base, because that was just a press fit, and lightly removed the cross stays and have secured the signal into the top of the gantry piece. And I'm going to do the same with this one here. Add a column and a base plate and a ladder, and we're good to go. What that looks like when finished is something like this one, where we've got our 2 colour light signals, and we've got the LEDs installed. The Kynar wire, Kynar wire, which is a single core, and I basically soldered some extensions to that because the wires weren't long enough to go all the way through. I'll cover that up soon. What I've done is connect it to the Digitrax board, and that is called a TSMK, which is a terminal strip mounting kit, and that's a little Digitrax item, which is basically a breakout board, screw terminals on here and to a 10-pin IDC connector here, but it also has 100 ohm resistors built into it to protect your lights as well, to protect the LEDs. 100 ohms is probably going to be not enough. I may add some more, but we'll see when we do our test. So next step after building that is to build a test kit and then connect a ribbon cable to that and use that to test the LED. Okay, to make up our ribbon cable that will connect our terminal strip mounting kit, our 10-pin connector, we're using the Digitrax SDCK, which is a signal driver cable kit. Okay, so what do we get with our signal driver cable kit? We get our ribbon cable here, which is 10 separate wires. We'll cut those to length, and we get a bunch of female connectors here. Basically, what we'll do is sandwich the wire between these 2 connectors like so. That punctures the wire, makes the connection, and then that provides the 10-pin socket at the bottom that that plugs in like so into the male part of the board. So that's what we're going to do, is make up a ribbon, use it to connect from our test board to our signal mounting kit. Okay, so we've got our signal driver cable kit, we've got our 10 wire ribbon cable, and we're going to put a female plug on each end. So first thing we do, using a pair of cutters, you can get parallel cutters for cutting wider ribbon with more than 10, but I find these sort of shear type is perfectly okay for this. Just ensure that you cut it perpendicular to the edge of the ribbon, like so. Now we get our plug, which is a female plug, and it's two parts to it. So we've got the part here with the metal pins, and these metal pins here penetrate into the ribbon cable and connect to the core of the wire, and we trap it by basically putting this part and then squeezing that in the vise to clamp it together. Now the Digitrax instructions recommend that pin number 1, which is shown on this clip with a arrow marking down in that corner, that clip is what attaches to pin brown wire on the ribbon cable. So following the instructions, we lay our cable into the bottom half of the clip. We find our pin number 1, which is that way, and we put that on top. Now we want to make sure that it's perpendicular in there, so I like to just give it a little pressure and then slide that back along the edge a little bit, almost to the edge. That's it. And we can see those wires in there. I give it a finger tight squeeze, and then I come over to the vise to finish the job off. Put this in the vise like so. Open it up. Pop it in the vise. And then just tighten until that clamp's shut. We'll see that shutting. That's it. Great. And we don't want to over tighten, otherwise we'll just crush the plastic fitting. So now that's secure on the end of the ribbon cable. That's one end done. And now we have the cable. I've got it round that way because I like to twist it, but you can put it on either way as long as pin 1 is there. This can be used on your SE8C for your signals, or in the case of my signals, I'm going to use it on my breakout board and just plug in like that. That's our connection done.